Okay, so Fiora's left the party because Ryan only asked Shulk to come along, and at this point, we now have access to the skill trees and the ability to level up arts. So leveling up arts does exactly what you expect. It makes them stronger, and they cool down faster.
So is it possible to fill out every bar, or is it one of those, like, you will
Yes,
hit a cap?
it is. There is no cap. You will be able to fill out all these bars if, you know,
Given
you
time.
spend all the time. Yeah, if you spend all the time grinding for all the AP you'd need.
That's my kind of RPG. Just let me sit in the starting area and beat the game that way.
And now we have access to skill trees. So every character has a couple of skill trees that, when you have a tree active, it confers a passive ability. And each tree has a bunch of, other skills that you can learn from them. Characters will only learn skills from their active tree. And once a character has learned a skill, that skill is always on. So you don't have to be on a certain tree to use that tree's skills.
Right, you don't have to... You're not forced into one specific tree all the time.
Yes.
Right. I feel like that was one of the things I disliked about Borderlands.
Yeah, I could see that being kind of restrictive.
Yeah.
Anyway, to get to Tephra Cave, you gotta head back to the entrance of Colony 9 and basically take the other fork from where we started the game from. There's a couple of smaller enemies here that I'm just gonna take care of on the way.
You mean murder?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, pretty much just one shot, yeah.
Yeah, I am over 5 levels, above most of the enemies here, so a properly used backslash will more or less destroy these little bunnets.
I like how we're using like the most aggressive language possible. Murder, destroy. It's not, I'm hunting.
I mean, if you see like the character models of these things up close, like they are like literally rabbits with prehensile tails and they are carrying knives in them, so they started it.
Yeah. So to expand on what I was saying, this game's one of the most important stats in battles is actually your level. If you're within a 5 level range of your target's level, then you can actually fight the thing. But if if one side is greater than 5 levels above or below, then the lower leveled party will not be able to do jack shit. Like, you take severe accuracy and damage penalties for being over 5 levels beneath your target.
Right.
The Definitive Edition introduces a casual mode that turns off that aggressive level scaling, so you could deal with enemies that are way above your punching weight. So yeah, don't feel like you need to grind if you don't want to. That evil Rangrot there is a unique monster bunnet. We'll take care of that in a bit. Now let's just enjoy the rest of the walk up to Tephra Cave.
Yeah, so now you can see the day-night cycle starting to come into play a little bit as like sunsets are very, very quick in these games.
You forgot something? You will be needing the transport cases. right?
Fiora.
I'm coming along as well. I'd feel better going with you boys than sitting at home worrying about you. So, let's get moving.
I knew she didn't trust me. Looks like it.
I mean, you didn't bring the cases, though, you dummy.
Yeah. Okay, so now that we have a full party, we have access to the party gauge, which allows us to do a lot more things in battle. Such as chain attacks, which are super important. Chain attacks are going to be your primary source of damage for most of this game. There's another heart-to-heart here, by the way. We can't access it yet because Shulk and Ryan aren't good enough friends. And since we have a full party, why don't we go take care of this unique monster?
Everyone, let's go! This one's mine.
Good luck, everyone.
So, I assume that the AI is, like, rather good about positioning itself?
It's actually not.
Damn.
I also do want to mention, Fiora has a yellow art on her in her list. I forget what it's called, but if she uses it while an enemy is toppled, she'll daze it, which, I mean, it's basically a somewhat stronger topple.
Hmm.
We got through that pretty good.
Should be okay if we fight like this.
Good thing I'm here.
Whenever you defeat a unique monster, you're guaranteed a gold treasure chest, which, you know, more goodies. And everybody also gets an affinity coin, which we'll get into those later. I also do want to point out that when you're battling a unique monster, a song called "You Will Know Our Names" plays, and it's pretty great. I'm not too hot on the remixed version used in this version of the game, but oh well, what can you do?
Yeah, like that's kind of been the one thing that I've noticed going through like these videos here and just listening to the music is the soundtrack that or the remaster that they did to the soundtrack is like kind of lacking in a lot of areas. Like it just doesn't have the energy of the original game's soundtrack for whatever reason.
Let's go!
I'm gonna go all out.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. Like, I think with the remastered soundtrack, they did actual like live recordings, and I'm 90% sure the original soundtrack was like, you know, MIDI, like really good MIDI.
Through that pretty good. Good thing I'm here.
But I don't know.
Anyone?
Should be okay
Something
if we
about the
fight like
remastered tracks just it doesn't have as much impact.
Yeah, like the way I kind of describe it is like the Square Enix like recent soundtrack remasters, like what they did for like Final Fantasy X, Final Fantasy 12, and like Secret of Mana in particular. Or like somehow like it just seems less than the original, even though it's ostensibly of much better quality.
Yeah, it's definitely something along those lines. Anyway, I'm being foolish and trying to take on another unique monster.
Oh yeah, you're
Not
getting
going well.
worked here.
I don't feel so good.
It doesn't help that it immediately started the battle by poisoning me. I also do want to mention that the game is introducing enemies that can that will pick fights with you now, like the Cellar Bugworm here. It has a little eye icon on its health bar, which indicates that it will attack you if it sees you and you're not like grossly overleveled.
Mm.
Yeah,
there's also enemies that can hear you, so if you're like running around underneath them, they will attack you.
yeah, and those ones are denoted by like a little lightning bolt beside them.
Actually, it's more like you know, the stereotypical like sound wave icon in this version.
Oh yeah, no, I'm thinking of Xenoblade X where like it's like a lightning bolt.
Oh, right. I think the unique monster from below saw us.
You're really getting into this,
Thankfully, it can't reach us, so we're not in any danger. But it does mean I can't pick up, or, get that treasure chest. And, there's another one over here, too. There's a bunch of unique monsters in this cave, which is mildly annoying. But, I think the caterpillar is the worst one.
Everyone, let's go!
Man, I'm still trying to figure out these affinity coins. Like, I didn't realize that the corpus was in this, and the fact that Shulk has the pennant, which is like, man, they're gonna get sued by Warframe.
Okay, so yeah, I can't actually take this one out. It helps that I'm a little higher level than it. At some point, Shulk got an art called Shadow Eye, which, it increases the power of his physical arts, and also takes some aggro off of him. So, super important for him. So, one thing about Slit Edge I do want to mention, enemies in this game don't have an actual defense stat. And Slit Edge inflicts defense down, like, by 50%, which just translates to your physical attacks doing 50% more damage, which, that's pretty good. But yeah.
Are there any stats, or like, so how does a stat page for a character or enemy in this game look like anyways? I'm kind of curious if you should put in stat pages whenever we see like bosses and whatnot.
At best I can give you like, art lists and HP values, I think. I'm not actually sure what stat page for this game looks like. I don't think any version of Xenoblade 1 has a bestiary.
Huh. Not even in like any of the guides?
There might be some in a guide, but I don't think there were ever any English language ones released. Remember, this game, this was a game that Nintendo of America, like, had no faith in.
Right. Still, which is still, like, super surprising to me, but...
Yeah, you'd think there'd be one, but no. Like, at best, you've got the Xenoblade Wiki, which is actually incredibly detailed, and it's not, like, hot garbage and nonsense, like, I don't know, a lot of fan wikis.
Should've just said, like, you were losing it, should've just said Star Citizen.
Are these the Magmel ruins?
Haven't you been here before?
Nope.
The Defense Force often uses it for training, but I come here to do research. It's not really a place that people go.
Not surprising. There are monsters around here that use Mechon parts as armor.
Was this built by the Mechon?
I don't think so. There's a path for people to get in. It might have been a vehicle of some kind.
Like the Defense Force hover transports.
A vehicle? But it's so big.
It's amazing technology. I wonder what kind of people made it.
I ain't got a clue.
Let's keep moving. The ether cylinders are up ahead.
Right.
So, is the reason why some of these monsters in the caves are leveled up because the training that the army does against them sometimes doesn't go too well?
That's entirely possible.
Yeah, especially given what we've seen of the Colony 9 Defense Force in general.
Yeah, you can imagine they get fucking demolished by that unique caterpillar.
Right, let's
Sick.
keep going.
Also, yeah, I mentioned earlier in the video about, like, the rabbits holding knives. Like, this is the point where they actually start holding knives.
As opposed to clubs.
Yeah, like, in the forest, in the forest they had wood clubs that everything from here on out, like, will have, like bits of Mechon parts that they're holding, which basically are their knives.
They don't get machine guns, do they? I have an intense fear of rabbits wielding machine gun.
I'm not gonna
No, we're
spoil
fine.
anything, so.
Well, can't go that way. So, only one way to go. At some point, I picked up a quest to take care of like 5 mel lizards. So why don't we do that? Also, there's a unique monster just inside of these mel lizards.
You'll be
So,
fine.
Be careful of that. I leveled down because I thought level 10 was a little too high for the rest of this cave.
So,
So-
if you level down, can you level up freely?
Yes, you can level
okay.
up and down freely.
Okay.
So while it's dazed, let's do a chain attack. So chain attacks work by allowing your party to go in order of their party order, and everyone gets a turn to use an art. The more arts you do of the same color, the higher your damage multiplier goes, and it's not like a straight multiplier either. So like, it was up to ×4 at the end there, which I think is like 500% damage or something.
Jesus.
And my party meter was full, so we can do it again. I want to say the max multiplier you can get for a chain attack is ×5, which translates to, I believe, 700% damage.
That was great, guys.
And yeah, you'll also occasionally get the little, like, affinity circle, like, quick time events where, like, you've got to push B when, like, the ring gets down to a certain level. And occasionally you'll get the chance to, like, extend the combo if you successfully hit any of those.
I'm glad I took out this this monster just as Ryan fell over.
And we have to patch ourselves up.
Yeah, Shulk was all happy. Ryan's coughing up blood.
He'll be fine. Battle's over. He can start regenerating.
Also, yeah, now
I
that we
forget
have...
if we mentioned it or not, but I love that the party just regenerates between battles. Like, there's no need to buy potions or anything, just because, what's the point?
Man, can't believe this game has good design TM.
Although, yeah, the downside to that is there's, like, no kind of real healing items in battle. Like, you have to rely on, like, various healing arts, and those are actually kind of hard to come by. Like, especially...
There's ways around that, which we'll get to, but yeah, like, if you're trying to play this like a straight RPG, you might have a bad time.
You know, I don't remember that loading screen being in the last attempt. Eons ago.
They've improved it a little from the original, the Wii version. Like, the Wii version doesn't have the lightning going through it, but it does have the little, like, Monado loading screen.
Right.
Right here. Thanks for the help, Shulk. I'll start collecting them up. You two hold on a sec.
It's full of ether cylinders. Hey, why do we have to come all the way here to get them? Isn't there an ether cylinder fueling station in the colony?
Well, refining the ether takes a long time down there, and sometimes cylinderization fails. And there are so many cylinders here for us already. It's more reliable than making them ourselves.
Right. And Colony 9's anti-air batteries and mobile artillery are standardized for these cylinders, so they can be used straight away.
I see. You know, this place is in good condition considering it's ancient.
It might be that there's some form of technology being used to preserve it. It's just a shame we don't understand its secret.
Shulk?
But I'll solve it one day and show you. If it's just technology that someone created in the past, it's not incomprehensible. We'll come to understand it one day.
Don't go trying too hard. We can come and get ether cylinders whenever we need them. Besides, It's a good place for Defence Force training.
Yeah, so good that you didn't even want to come here without Shulk to back you up. Anyway, did you collect the cylinders?
Yep, all done. Thanks.
Just come by yourself from now on.
Shh, be quiet.
Are they Mechon?
I don't know. But it looks like we'll have to destroy them.
In that case, just leave them to me.
So hey, here's our introduction to changing attack targets, I guess. You can press the L and R buttons to change targets, and then if you hold ZR and press a direction, you can give commands to your party.
Take them down.
So here's a little mini-boss, some ancient machines that are guarding these ether cylinders. For some reason. They're not too bad if you're on level with them, but if you're even like 2 levels below, you can have a real bad time. I find it best to focus attacks so that everyone's just focusing on one thing at a time. Because if the game is allowed to do its thing, like Ryan will probably just go off deal with the other enemy, which means the one you're targeting will take longer to die.
Right.
Unfortunately, right now, or at that moment, Shulk had a lot of aggro from dealing a ton of damage, but it's fine. We took care of it.
Fiora, are you okay?
I'm fine. How about you?
I'm all right. Thanks to you and Ryan.
What on Bionis were those? I've never seen anything like them.
Could they have been Mechon?
No. I think they were something left by the civilization that built this vehicle.
They didn't seem like Mechon to me. But why did they only show up now?
I don't know. But they were probably built to protect this place. They might have been activated in response to something. But I don't think that something could have been us.
Please, let's go back. I don't want to be here anymore.
Me neither. And we've already got the ether cylinders.
Huh? What's going on?
Listen, what is that?
That sound.
In the sky! Oh, it's a...
This can't be.
No way.
Mechon!
How? Didn't my brother destroy them all a year ago?
Could that defense mechanism have responded to the Mechon?
Let's get back to the colony.
Come on.